Hi, Cassandra. How are you, love? Holly's not going to be here this evening, so you beat her. Holly is busy today. She sent me a message to let me know that she's here in spirit. How are you doing? Thank you, those who are watching the replay and who are just joining. Just tagged everybody. Share it to the group real quick. Here we go. Hi, Anna. How are you, darling? Okay, you're the first one over on Facebook. Holly's not going to be here today. Hey, Matt. How are you? All right. There we go. I hope you guys can't hear the background TV. One of my kids loves watching these YouTube people that play like Roblox or Minecraft or something, and they whine like babies the entire time. And it's like so aggravating. I'm good, Cassandra. Random crying session before you came on. Aw. It's that time, we gotta release. Yeah, reels, stuff like that can surface, all of that stuff. So just flow with it. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Tired. I got your package sent off. I did a couple of packages today. So I make every product is usually made same day by hand, the same day that I box it up to ship out. Hi, Sue. Hello, hello. So yeah, took me a while, and I do everything like the bottles, put the labels on, make sure that all of that. So yeah, I was packing a lot today, making stuff and packing a lot. Nosebleed. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that can also happen if it's been drier weather where you're at too, and allergies. My kids and I have the same thing happen a lot. From Facebook. Um, I don't know. I'm lost. Yes, made with love. Okay. We'll give it maybe a minute or so before we get into the reading. It looks good. I didn't end up pulling any tarot today. I didn't realize that until I was pulling the cards. I was like, oh, whoops. So, Nicole, hello. Smoking your blunt and chillaxing. I love it. Enjoying the sun. Soak up them sun codes, girl. I'm actually using the deck that you gifted me for my birthday, the Cannabis Oracle. So I haven't used it in like, I don't know, a week or two. So I thought, oh, I should use that today. And then here you are. So I've summoned you. And I puffed on my blunt before this too. So if I look tired, that's probably a good contributing factor, but definitely not the not the factor. I've been, getting less sleep lately, and yeah, been doing a lot. So yes. All right. Well, we'll start getting into it. Looks like everyone's starting to file in nicely. Um, so here we go. Hello, Wendy. I got your package sent off today, love. You guys should have, if you ordered a package, you should have received emails confirming that those were shipped along with your tracking numbers. So, okay. My nose is tickly today. Had an X flare. Thank you. I haven't even been looking at that. I know we had a blackout and then we had a whiteout on the Schumann resonance chart, but I haven't really been keeping tabs on it because I've been busy doing other things. So when I'm busy doing things, I don't look at my phone. I'm not I'm not that person that always has their phone in hand. So it's, yeah, it's draining to me. I guess that might be the autism speaking, but it's like I have to always have it on silent because the noises overstimulate, and just like the notifications that fly across the screen, it's overstimulating. Yeah, squirrel. So excited to get your stuff. Yay! Your son was so helpful. That's awesome. I'm excited for you to get your stuff too. Take you a nice, long, luxurious bath with that delicious Rebel Rose salt. Okay, let's dig in, shall we? Okay. Tickly nose, yeah. Unconditional Love with Blueprint on the bottom of the deck. I love this card. I love how the anatomically correct heart looks. It's just so groovy to me. Dallas, I love darling. So unconditional love with Blueprint. You are the blueprint. You are unconditional love. Act on that idea because it is part of your blueprint. And this comes from a space of unconditional love, your guidance, your soul guidance. You are a master manifester. We have manifesteer with creation. You are in creation mode. Yours is 90% of the time on silent too. Yeah, it's too much. So totally get that. Okay. So act on that idea because it's part of your blueprint. You are the creator, but suppressed emotions need a healthy outlet. You could have a lot of things surfacing for you, crying randomly on reels, or just experiencing different emotions. The turbulence lately has been real, you guys. We all know this. So whatever is triggering you right now is offering you the opportunity to feel these emotions, to express these emotions, and to get them out, right? Let go of that emotional baggage. A male is spying on you. Oh, ooh, crikey. A male is spying on you, and a female is spying on you. Both bottom of the deck energy. So there's both. And just because both are present doesn't necessarily mean that it's one gender or the other specifically. We all talk about this. It's masculine or feminine expression. So hello Mala, hello, thank you for popping in, love. You have them vibrate. Yeah, mine does vibrate, and then I also have the no. Well, mine's 11 p.m., but no notifications after 11. So yeah, we've got both energies showing up here. It could even be one person, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean they have to dominantly display any one type of energy. So this could be one person that is both, spying in order to see what they can get out of you, or see what they can gossip about you, or, how people are. And then on the other hand, what actions can they take to use you or to hurt you in some way, to take from you in some way? So, and some of you might have both male and female spying on you. I wouldn't be surprised that I've got both. It comes with the territory, as I've learned on this social media journey. You get the best of both worlds. Oh my gosh, Matt. That's so funny. So yeah, that showed up bottom of the deck, but it doesn't matter what they say or do. They cannot take from you because you are the creator. These difficult people are surfacing right now for us on an individual scale as well as a collective scale. We're starting to see more of that mask falling energy, like we've been talking about since we've been podcasting here, you guys. You deserve better. And the energy here is coming to such a high degree that it is no longer easy for people to hide in the shadows. Like, if any of you have been seeing any of the like politics side of things with regard to the US right now, and also world leaders, okay, world leaders, um, they're getting petty. Like, it's like watching a fight in the middle of the hood, but they're just not throwing blows yet, you know? They're tit for tat back and forth, like undercut, talking about each other's appearance, like why on such important topics, and you know, within like the Supreme Court and things. It's crazy right now. I've seen a few of these and I'm like, what? You've never seen them actually behave like that on stage or on camera, right? Before, but now the energy is so turbulent, so chaotic. Hello, Linda, I love you. Um, that they're not hiding this anymore. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. It doesn't even occur to them. Their mouth, you know, runs out the gate before their ass can catch up. It's insane. So this is happening also for us in our individual experiences. The way that people believe, as far as, you know, racism is a big thing right now in the U.S. Yeah, it is just a play. It is, and it is so random. It's so, oh my gosh. It's insanity is what it is. I mean, if you guys didn't realize you were in a zoo before now, now you do. They are like little kids. It's insanity. I am speechless about it. There are only so many words I can throw at it, you know. But this is also happening with even very close relationships to us. People's true colors are showing. They're showing their, you know, beliefs on themselves and others. They are less filtered when it comes to reactions, because, you know, those who have unhealed wounds, um, they're knee-jerk reacting out of exactly the frequency that they vibe at right now. So when you're seeing people's reactions to their external circumstances or to you, and you're like, what? I didn't. Welcome to the circus. Yeah, welcome to the jungle. I wore that shirt the other day, my Guns N' Roses shirt on Father's Day. But the masks are flying off at this point, you guys. So trust and believe what you see in those around you and adjust accordingly. Okay. Pivot if necessary. We're going to talk about pivoting today. But eyes on the prize. Okay. Just like yesterday, we had those two cards with the Sagittarius moons, full moon in Sag and a new moon in Sag, out of the Moonology Oracle yesterday. And that's the Archer, right? The Archer is showing up again for us. So eyes on the prize. Keep your focus on the trajectory. Anchor your frequency. Act authentically in every moment. Especially with those emotions that are purging from you right now, okay? Express them in healthy ways. And we love you, Linda. We have business trip showing up here on the bottom of the deck. And then on the other side of that suppressed emotions card, we have travel. So some of you could be traveling. Some of you could be, you know, leaving certain areas, which wouldn't blame you. Don't be traveling to the US right now if you're not from, you know, if you're not a US citizen, please don't. Hi, Catherine. Because it's just not safe. It's just not. So I advise against any kind of travel to the US unless you are a citizen. Period. There's no other way to say it. There's no nice way to put it. Don't come here. Please, for your own safety. I say that with the most love. But You could be traveling to meet people, even if it's not like by plane or a far distance. You could be making a day trip to go visit some friends, in another town or something like that. But we also have supportive friends and celebrate your success. So as you are weeding out your circle, as true colors are starting to surface even more, now is the time to surround yourself with supportive people, with those who celebrate your successes just as much as you celebrate theirs. Okay, because these other people got bad intentions. I forgot that card to come out. People, you got male and female, both cards. A male is spying on you, a female is spying on you, and they have bad intentions. Okay, it's time to weed out the garden, and we're doing that individually and collectively. So listen up, pay attention, apply to the collective version of your life as well as your individual one. But there are many who do not have the highest of intentions for you, and that's just kind of part of living in this matrix at this time. So there are still those who are unawakened, who are moving through their own journeys to process the hatred and fear and lower frequencies that they have carried for many lifetimes. Okay, you do not need to be their lesson, you do not need to be their teacher, you do not need to continue to play their game to try to get them to ultimately see the truth, because they're not going to. Okay, not for a while, and you don't have to be the one to help them through it. Just because you see the potential in them to be good does not mean that you need to cart them around as your baggage right there on your back. Okay, hi Sonia. Oh, I bet it did, Matt. So protect your energy. Okay, protect your ideas. This could be work related too, with regard to colleagues, coworkers, just people in your field, people in your same field. I got a headache all of a sudden, as I'm staring at the tap into your gifts card. You could be having a lot of headaches right now. You could be experiencing your gifts heightening. You need to ground. Okay, do a lot more grounding right now, especially if this is you, but everyone needs to do extra grounding right now, to protect our energetic fields. But someone could be awakening new gifts, or heightening their gifts, and there's like, I'm getting a headache, like, and it stabs me right behind my eye, whenever I focus on that energy. So definitely ground yourself. We have crystal technology right above that tap into your gifts card. Use some crystals to help you ground. Meditate with them, work with them in whatever way you feel resonant with you. There's also, excuse me, I'm on my podcast. Hold on. Getting crazy right next to my door. Upgrades to the crystalline body. You could be having, you could be experiencing headaches or body aches, or just kind of insomnia, or it's like jet lag kind of energy. But I mean, they're like, that's valid that you would feel jet lag, because we are traveling right now. We are like, we're on a trip for business, y'all. As a human species, we are ascending. We are traveling great distances through time and space right now, because we're evolving so quickly, because the shift is taking place right now. So ground yourself. Breath work, breathe into these areas. Like if it's your head, if you're experiencing heaviness or pain or anything like that, breathe into those areas. Bring the sacred breath into those areas intentionally. meditation always. Of course, we do have cloud meditation showing up right here. But whenever this card first came out, I got a totally different message. But definitely meditate, cloud meditation, like, cloud gazing, just seeing what different clouds look like to you. Really helpful right now. Tap into the sylphs, the dragon energy, air energy. Just, they're like, become the air, like, envision yourself becoming the air. And that card says look up, which brings me to my next point. Hi, Suzanne. So cloud meditation, look up. I don't know if you can see that very well. Anyway, it says look up. You can trust me. But when that card came out, these three cards came out in succession. Okay, first we had the Idagio or Karma card, which is like the Judgment card, and we did get the Judgment card yesterday when I used the tarot. I did not use the tarot today, surprisingly. I usually at least pull one tarot deck out, but anyway, that came out with the Crystal Technology card, right behind that, and then the Cloud Meditation card. And then I was reminded of these videos that I saw on TikTok, where it's different people from different places. Okay, the UFOs are cloaking like they always do, but now that the Matrix is starting to crash and systems are starting to crash, things are becoming more tangible. They're not so, and they're not it's not like it's not easy for them to cloak. It's like they're not even trying really anymore. They're like, oh yeah, we're cloaking. So we see these ship forms, but they're clouds. They're clouds in like flying saucer form, but like the giant mothership type. Okay, there's people that are posting videos of these recently, like yesterday and today. So they are here, they are present, they are monitoring, and that's one thing that I was like irritated with yesterday, is like all of this talk about the nukes and stuff. I'm like, I've channeled before, and many others have channeled before, and then others have had contact with extraterrestrials before that all say that they're not going to allow that to happen. They're not going to. Thick blackout on the Schumann today. Yeah, and the other day too, like the night before last, I think, or maybe last night. I don't remember. The days are blending together. You've been seeing those clouds too, Suzanne? Hell yeah. Take a picture next time and post it to the group. We want to see it. So they're here, and this is something, like I said, I was arguing with Source, myself, whoever, about this the other day, because I was getting pissed off seeing these videos and seeing, T-Rump talking about, nukes and stuff. And I'm like, what's going on, guys? Like, you said this wasn't going to be allowed to happen. They're like, shh, it's not. And I'm like, and they're like, shh, it's not. And I'm like, shh, it's not. Okay. It's a show. So I was like, okay. Okay, I'll give this one to you. But if it starts to happen, then I'm going to be really pissed off. So I had this back and forth. So this part of the reading is definitely for me too. But also what added to that cloud meditation card, and that, the extraterrestrials revealing and cloaking themselves. It's glam energy. Okay. Glamour energy. There are things called glamour spells, glamour spells that, people can use them in different ways, but basically people will perceive them as really good looking, or maybe they'll try to hex someone else with a glamour spell, which is kind of the opposite of that. But anyway, and so no one will find them attractive, and they don't change their appearance or anything. It's just, that energy. So the cloaking is basically glamour magic. glamour energy, glam spells. So that ties together in why I was like, we're going to talk about them today. Okay. But tap into your gifts. You can see them. Look up at the sky. Okay. They have this law of non-interference. We get that, right? So that's uninvited. Okay. Uninvited interference. So those, if the collective consciousness were to be majority open to and telepathically talking to or otherwise talking to extraterrestrials, inviting them to come and help us, you know, majority rules. Okay. Collective consciousness tips in majority's favor. So use your gifts, tap into your telepathic gifts, and have conversations, open yourself up, because they do have good intentions. And we know that there's going to be a point where they reveal themselves and we become part of the galactic family again. So now is the time for us to start. And it's not like praying to these space gods or anything like that. It's telepathically speaking with our brothers and sisters, our star brothers and sisters. And as star seeds, we have that clear connection to them, that untainted, unfiltered connection to them. So, it would be helpful if we would all just communicate, yo, come on, help us out. So yeah, do with that information what you will, but I've been doing it. So this is the initiation. We had this card last week. Walking through that portal. Yes, it's all dark and dingy, and there's, stormy skies and lightning and snakes and all kinds of scary stuff, but you're on the path. Okay. We are on the path. We're stepping through that portal into bliss. Okay. That's blissful existence. That's the pyramid technologies. That's the ancient knowledge and technologies coming back to us. Hello, Steph. And you're already doing it. Okay. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. These kids are off the hook right now. You're already doing it. You're already walking that path. Okay. So continue to move forward, because your spirit guide can lead you to it, but cannot do it for you. You may be experiencing a diversion from the same path you've been on into something new, or into an enhanced version of that path, whatever it, however it applies for you. True love can never be lost is right beneath that. So tap into your truth, your authenticity, your blueprint, which is love. That was the very first card out, remember? Divine blueprint. Unconditional love. That is you. I'm going to have to shout at these kids again. They sound like a stampede. Got lightheaded from that one. So your guides can lead you, but they can't do it for you. There is always uncertainty and always fear. Hello, Jay. When you are diverging from the path that you've been on for a while, right? This is outside of comfort zone. This is into the unknown energy. So we'll get that fear or that trepidation when these transitions are starting to take place. But we can't let that stop us, right? We have to push through that. We have to face our fears head on, because once we face them, they dissipate. you realize there was nothing really there to fear to begin with. But they're talking about facing your true north and facing that true love. Any kind of guidance that you receive that is from your higher self, your spirit team, it's not going to be something that causes fear. Yeah, you might have a little bit of that trepidation, that because your left brain is kicking in, now you're overthinking it, right? So pay attention to how it immediately comes through. If when it comes through immediately does not cause any kind of fear, negativity, anything like that, until your brain starts to catch up, then you know that's guidance, because it comes from a space of love. It doesn't cause fear. It might, push you in a direction and be like in a quick hurry, like you need to do this now. But it's never going to be fearful. Okay. Even whenever I was at the end of my relationship, with my ex, and I knew, I had that knowing come through, he's going to unalive me very soon. Um, and probably my children too. So I need to move now. And so I started moving and getting things in order. I didn't get into panic mode or anything like that, because I wasn't afraid of his bitch ass anyway. But anyway, um, I I just knew that that was my inner guidance, and it was telling me what to do, and how to get it done, and within this time frame, that it needed to happen so that we could continue to be safe. So I knew it was coming from a space of protection, and that's why I didn't fear it, because I knew exactly where it came from. It wasn't the first time I had experienced something like that, so I knew to listen to my intuition. The kids are joyous, but they're so loud. um, my guides tell me to stay on earth, and that's terrifying. Same, girl, same. I'm just kidding you, Steph. I know you're not a girl, but I had to. Oh yeah, it was like that. It was definitely like that. Um, so I got the expedited energy, like you need to get this done within a week. Okay. Because I was going to wait a couple more months. I already had the plans, and I was, starting to try to figure things out, how that transition would go. But I was waiting for a couple of months, for the extra money. So I got that message, and I'm like, well, how am I going to make this happen? Because I don't have the extra money right now. I'm just going to pull it out of my ass or what? So I had to do some work. I had to reach out for some support. And it was just, yep, boom, bang, here you go. Like it's there. The money was wired to me by my sister, of all people. And, it hit, and I went and picked it up, the kids, and I ended up getting like a tummy bug, like the babies, even they were only 4 months old at the time. So I had to put it off for a couple more days, because I couldn't have everyone puking in the car for an 18-hour drive. So, that needed to happen, because the time had to be exactly right. Ended up being on 2/5, February 5th. So two, the number of two things coming together, but five things. 2/5, please, speeches. So everything for me, usually the big things happen on the 5th of the month, or in a 5 month, as I've noticed. So yeah, that could apply to you too. I don't know. It could be something that started back in May, and now things are coming to a culmination. But I had to say that for a reason. Not lost, but never alone. And that's card number 13. 13 caught my eye. So this is the divine feminine energy. You may be feeling lost right now. We as a collective are feeling lost right now. Like, how could this ever pan out in a way that, brings the new earth, the, peace on earth, whatever. It kicks in and you get moving. Yeah, you've been in that situation too. Yeah, you're like, yep, now's the time. So even in those kinds of situations, like mine was potentially life threatening, I didn't get that panic. I didn't get that fear. I just got the, you're protected, do this, do this, do this, and in this exact time frame. Um, oh, thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, love. It's your mom's birthday. Dang. So you may feel lost. You may feel like you don't know what the next steps are in this ever unfolding transition, right? It's like you just have to trust and put your foot out there, and the next cobblestone will appear beneath your foot, and so forth. So, priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? This is that divine feminine energy. Even if you are a male, you still have that divine feminine energy within you. So, listen to the guidance. That's your divine feminine energy, is being open to hearing it, open to seeing, open to receiving guidance in whatever way that you receive your guidance, because it's different for everyone depending on what spiritual gifts you use more than most. But you're being called to lead in your own life, whether that's leading yourself, nurturing and, parenting your inner child through this rough transition back into your power as the fully embodied higher version of yourself in adult time, right? um, because a lot of the times our inner child can be a hindrance. It can be a wounded version of us that's just sitting on the path, refusing to move forward until you actually address them, and until you actually sit with them, carry them, nurture them, whatever they need for you to be able to proceed on your journey. That's what we call integration. That's the shadow work. That's the healing of the inner child work. So I would ask, what part of you is calling out for your healing right now, for your nurturing right now? Because we do have heal yourself to heal the world right next to that lost but never alone card. So you may be feeling lost right now because you've lost the plot a little bit, but that's okay, because you have to first be lost before you're found. So there's part of you that you need to recover, part of you that you need to find, you need to heal and integrate before you can start to really embody the fullness of the role that you came here to play, is what they said. Anna, grandmother of Yeshua, seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. This is all divinely orchestrated. Even though it's chaotic right now, there's divine orchestration within the chaos. Okay? It's controlled chaos. It's all going according to plan. This roller coaster ride, it's going according to plan. Okay? So seed your light. Heal yourself. Heal these versions of you that are hindering you. Heal yourself because you're part of the shift. Healing yourself helps to heal the world. As we all heal ourselves on an individual level, that heals the greater collective, because we all become whole in our own. And then that's when we can come into unity, into this oneness, this all one energy, which is the new earth energy that we're moving into. You came here to serve. And by serving yourself, you serve others. By healing and nurturing yourself, you heal and nurture others. By serving that purpose in your own life, you serve as an example for others of what they're also capable of doing. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? And this is for my men's too, okay? You got that warrior woman within you. It's just that divine feminine warrior. Have you answered your deepest calling? You are the divine blueprint. You are the plan, okay? The healed version of you, the whole version of you, not the fragmented version of you that happened whenever you entered this plane as the volunteer. So you pick up the pieces, you put them all back together, and then you step into that power and you show others how to do that as well. You came here to serve, And that is you calling others forth out of their old experiences, out of their old life, what's dead, decayed, and fallen away, which is happening all over this plane right now, all over this world. Okay. But it is necessary. That card is the card of karma. Karma is cause and effect. Okay. We're just balancing the scales here. Because the scales were tipped so long in the shadows, in the lower frequencies, that source always compensates, right? There is always balance to everything, no matter how long it's been imbalanced, no matter how long, how big, doesn't matter. There's always going to be balance restored. So now we're tipping the scales back in the favor, because all of us volunteer souls that came here, and there's a lot, there's more than 144,000, by the way. All of us came here to tip the scales back into the favor of the good. So that is what is happening right now. Consciousness is going viral. It is a virus in the best, highest way. Okay. It's contagious. And as we become more and more conscious from our level of understanding, others are able to become infected in a really good way. Hello, Kara. How are you, darling? We love you. So happy to see you with us again. But yeah, so infect others with consciousness right now. Really love yourself. Really, care for yourself right now, because everyone is undergoing a deeply transformative process, and it ain't fucking easy. Okay. Cultivate you time, honey, because your pregnant ass needs it. You're pregnant with this new version of you that you are also birthing into creation. This is the new love entering your life. So create, all right? And let go of the fake shit. Let go of the mofos. That's the second masked card we had today. People are dropping the mask. They're showing their true colors. So don't try to repaint them. Pivot and move forward. Love you guys. You shall infect others. Yes. Act on that idea, Wendy. Oh, man. I don't know. I think only I could give readings like that. And it be meant for something positive. It's that rebel spirit in me. I got to be contrary no matter what. Kara's like, huh? Oh, man. You went on a retreat with a friend and had no idea how spiritual she is? Was it like a pleasant surprise, or was it a not so pleasant one? Documenting my experience for the next gen. Nice, Matt. Oh, thank you, Anna. I love you. Okay, let me get these cards put up, and then we'll open the outline, because I did a real quick one just to try to keep myself on task. Okay. I have little like cardstock, a little floaty from the cardstock from my cards. You're welcome, Catherine. I love you. You're welcome, Steph. Love you. Love you, Sonia. Thank you. Okay, let's find this outline to keep my ADHD in check. Okay. You're welcome, Suzanne. Love you. Thank you, Cassandra. Cassandra is also watching from YouTube, you guys. Sorry, I haven't been highlighting comments again. I forget. was pleasant. You could talk to her about stuff you can't talk to other people about. Awesome. See, when you're in your authenticity, your tribe literally reveals themselves, even in people that you might not have realized before. Thank you, Matt. Yes, Cassandra, it was a pleasant surprise for her. Linda, Cassandra was saying she hoped it was a pleasant surprise. Yay. Me too, Wendy. I'm so excited for you to get them. Thank you for your order. Anyone else wants to order right now? All of my stuff is super, super, super on sale. So get your orders in, order your stuff, because like I said, I don't know in the like 4 weeks and out mark if I'm going to be doing a whole lot of that stuff because I have other things going on. So you love outlines and bullet points. I got some bullet points too. I love bullet points. Oh my goodness, that's the nerd in me. It's my Virgo rising, I swear. Creature of habit. That's so awesome. I see you, girl, because I'm the same. Okay, outlines and bullet points because it helps keep you on task, right? So yeah, when I was in school, I always did outlines and bullet points, and that's probably why they put me in advanced classes, and then I didn't want to do the work, the more advanced work, so I rebelled a little bit. Here you go, Cassandra. Linda said thank you. Well, she said thanks, but you know what I mean. Okay. It's a Virgo thing for sure. Yeah. Suzanne gets us. Suzanne knows the list maker season right now. Totally. I'm here for it. It helps me. If I can see it in front of my eyes in list form, locked and loaded. But if it's verbal, I'm not so good at retaining. So my brain just works differently, obviously. I'm neurospicy. Anywho, so sacred or burnout as sacred communication. Why is burnout sacred communication? It's not just exhaustion, it's a message. It's either telling you where you're overgiving and you need to rein it in. You need to do some self-care. You need to take a day, a weekend, a week off work. I don't care. The highlighters, I did those too. But it's your body's way or your mind's way of telling you that there's a major imbalance happening here and we need to regroup. We need to restructure and move forward in a much easier way. Head it over. Yes, Blue Lotus is amazing, Matt, isn't it? All souls are of equal worth. Thank you, Carl. I'm going to highlight your comment there, love. Because more of us need to understand this, especially right now. So thank you. Okay, so it could be mental exhaustion. It could be spiritual exhaustion. There's something being highlighted where there is an imbalance. So feeling that burnout is your sacred communication that we need to reassess. We need to pivot. We need to realign ourselves. We need to do something here because this isn't right. You can feel the physical exhaustion. You can start feeling like actual illnesses or dis-ease start to surface. There could be like the feeling of the need to retract, go into hermit mode, just because like you're physically feeling fine and everything, but it's just like any external stimuli, is way too much right now, and you feel like it's coming at you from all angles. Um, there are so many different ways that these can manifest. It depends really on you individually, and um, how sensitive you are to your own signs of these things, because some of us can catch them really early on, and some of us can also be stubborn and just keep pushing. Hey Patrick, love you, nice to see you. It has been a minute. I've been having to take off a lot of extra time lately for other things. Thank you for joining us. So you could just, peopling becomes unbearable, right? My kids are distracting me, sorry. Okay. Back to, yeah, becoming sensitive of your body's own cues and really giving them the attention that they deserve. I'm guilty of not doing this, okay? Um, so it tends to pile up for me for a little while, and then just like for no reason, I completely just need to retract into my shell and like go into little turtle mode. So it's more feasible, more less difficult, we'll say, less difficult whenever you start listening to the signs that your body is giving you. Your body, also your mind. Okay. If your mental health is starting to become a little sensitive, then it's time to reel it in. It's time to, just take a day for yourself, go into meditation, do whatever you have to do to get to the bottom of why you're feeling that way, if you don't already know. And then nurture that part of yourself, heal that part of yourself if necessary, because it doesn't always warrant healing. It could just be a lesson in exercising what you've already learned. Like, you've already healed that, you know the signs, and then you're just kind of doing it anyway just to bump along. So okay, now I realize I learned that lesson. I know that I need to apply more of the tools that I've learned. So give yourself that time. Give yourself grace also, because we're human. We're programmed as such. So those programs filter through more often than not. And things like, um, you know, if you don't work harder, you're not going to get ahead type things, or if you're not doing something constantly, you're lazy, or any of those things. A lot of us kind of feel that way, or whenever there's some kind of situation like the protests. I would have loved to have gone to one, but I literally had like so many things blocking me from going that I'm like, okay, fine, I'm not meant to go and do this. But I was doing other things, sending protection, sending love, sending understanding, sympathy, empathy, um, enlightenment, all of these things, meditating and working for the highest good of all involved, not just those who I prefer to be protected, right? Um, so I was doing a lot of heavy lifting without going and being in the sun and wilting and encountering negativity like in any way. So listen to your own cues and don't shame yourself for what you think you should be doing, or what more work you should be doing, whether that's work with it with regard to your business, your job, your whatever, or these more collective themes. um there's so much collectively taking place right now, energetically. Anchoring and transmuting, yes, very important. So we, all of us being so sensitive, we're going to feel it. We're going to be overstimulated. It's going to rock our boats. Okay. That is why we need to do more intentional grounding. And I talk to myself too. I've been making myself do it more, but I've noticed that I probably should do it a little bit more. because I still have noticed myself kind of get off into, these side quests and 44 tend to work too much. Take it easy on yourself. Take a break. Sometimes you can't do everything. Yeah. I have to try to remind myself of that too, but then I get off into the like, oh my gosh, I need to be doing more. There's so much time and like, or so little time and so much to do. um, that kind of thing. So I've been personally playing a little tug of war with that one. Um, so that's why I'm here to remind all of you, because even I'm experiencing it. And for someone with so much earth in their chart and being such a grounded individual most of the time, I have been pretty flighty lately in many areas. So just like I had that little come to source, come to higher self guides meeting, I was kind of like addressing my guides to like, you guys said it. Like, you used me, my body, my voice, my words. You used it to say that. So it better be true. Like, you know? So yeah, I've had my moments where the collective energy impacts me, right? And not in a way that I want it to. So I have to harness and realign, reassess, come back in, reel it in, reel it in. Okay, is this according to what you know, that truth, that calm, peaceful knowing, or is this that external stimuli that's trying to stimulate the brain to start to create from default? So good, Patrick. I'm glad. And thank you, Cassandra. I'm glad it resonates for you, love. So yeah, let's get back to the outline. Sorry. Your body is wise. Listen to it before it screams. Okay. Whenever you start to experience burnout, recognize the early signs so that you can avoid the full blown, rock bottom part of the burnout. Came outside and grounded. Nice. I love that, Catherine. Any advice I give to others is also advice I observe for myself always. Yeah, because when you're the channel, if you need to have advice, given to you, it's going to come through you to another person as well. So in readings, it happens to me too. Not all the time, not every single reading, but there are some where I'm like, oh, I needed to hear that. Gaia's energy seems to be vacillating lately. It's harder to ground. Yeah. There's 2 volcanoes that I know of that erupted yesterday and today, or are erupting. And then the huge, like 6.1 magnitude earthquake in Peru. Bigger shit's popping off with Gaia. And we've talked about this with the tectonic plates and the volcanoes and the storms and everything. In Western Colorado this morning, people woke up to like softball size hail and their cars like super damaged. Noise. Yeah, getting crazy. Feels like it, huh? Overstimulated at work, your skin crawls. Yeah. It's the energies, the collective ones, but also the people in your immediate surroundings are also very impacted by collective energies, whether they're consciously aware or not. And depending on whether they've done a lot of healing or not, you can see how that energy would get really chaotic. So you will be also picking up on those energies right now, which is why it's so important for us to shield, cloak, and ground right now. Good. Sit on the grass for a while. Yes. Be the example and show them how to transmute it. Yes. It is harder lately. Definitely. So yeah, it's coming from all angles right now, you guys. So shield, cloak, ground. Okay. So grounding tools for stormy times. Breath work, always my number one go-to, because anyone can do it anywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at. You can do breath work. You don't need any kind of tools. Okay. And that's something immediate that you don't have. You can do it without really putting a whole lot of thought into it. But bringing the conscious awareness to your breath by doing the counting, like square breathing or anything like that, is really beneficial for you in the moment. And then if you have a longer moment, then visualizing, going into meditation, visualizing or sensing yourself in whatever way makes sense to you, whatever way you connect. And grounding, anchoring into Gaia, letting those roots grow from your sacral or from your root chakra to, or your feet or both. Extra ground, put that bubble or that pyramid of protection around you, whatever colors you want, whatever helps you feel grounded, protected, all of those things. Definitely do that. That's something that I will do. I'll stop everything in the middle of the grocery store when I'm getting overstimulated. And I'm like, I have to ground. I'll close my eyes. I'll do my deep breathing exercises and I will visualize all of that in the moment. If there's plants nearby, I'll go and touch the plants. Like in Walmart, I'll be like, come here, plants. I just need to go to the garden section for 5 minutes. So whatever you can do in those moments, advocating for yourself. My voice is getting shaky and I'm not like on the verge of tears or anything. And it's not like I've been talking so much. So it's like, advocate, speak up, say, there's too much right now going on. I'm overstimulated. I need a moment, and walk away or make others go away or whatever it is. Hold on. I'm going to go back to the comments real quick. They're coming in quick. Oh yeah, your kids are definitely overstimulating. I get so overstimulated visiting my kids' school. Even to pick them up from school, I get really like super overstimulated. So it takes me a few minutes to just calm down. Take some grounding stones with you, stick them in your bra, in your pockets, whatever you need to do. When you say cloak, can you express that or might feel or look like? So whenever you're cloaking, you can even just set the intention. You can visualize yourself cloaked in like a mirrored violet, think violet flame energy, right? In a mirrored like bubble or pyramid or something like that, cloaking you so that any frequencies, any anything that is not aligned to source can't detect your energy. So false inverted matrix energies, those kinds of things just won't gravitate to you. You're cloaked, you're completely ghost to them. They don't even notice you, so therefore they can't swarm and continue to cause things to manifest that are overstimulating, basically. So you can visualize that. You can just set the intention. I am cloaked. Those kinds of things. Invisibility is your comfort zone. That used to be my entire life. It still is a lot of the time, except for I make exceptions for the podcast. Summer, even in California, stand on soil and breathe. It's underrated magic. Absolutely. Oh, wow, Matt. Yeah, invisibility cloak. You can if you've seen Harry Potter, you've seen that mofo has an invisibility cloak, okay? You can even put one of those on. It can look however you want it to look. It doesn't have to look any one type of way. Whatever resonates with you, whatever your imagination can come up with, because you're tapping into the quantum. Imagination isn't a made-up thing. It's a different way of perceiving the non-physical. The mirror ball, I love it. I love that one. It's my recent fave. Yeah, for real, Cassandra. The ADHD thing is real. So ground yourself, cloak yourself, shield and protect. You can journal, you can write things out if you want. Use your chat GPT to vent to. I mean, it's so useful for many different things. But if you're being impacted by collective energies right now, start to unplug. Okay, you don't have to completely unplug unless you feel called to do so. But if it's causing you some sort of personal crisis, then it's time to go on that spiritual diet and only entertain frequencies that are higher in nature until you can, get your head above water. Yeah, very important. Um, oh, thank you, Cassandra. I'm so glad we can all help. Okay, back to the outline. All right, so in such chaotic times when the pieces are constantly moving, um, the predictable becomes unpredictable, and vice versa. When you're feeling overstimulated, overwhelmed, hi Lisa, or you feel like you're drawn to pivot in some way, drawn towards a different friend group, a different career path, a different situation with regard to your relationships with your biological family members, per se. Um, Anything where you're feeling like you're kind of turning away from what you resonated with for a really long time. It can be scary, absolutely. But when you're feeling guided to do so without guilt or resentment. Because you wouldn't be drawn to that if it wasn't part of your path, part of your purpose. So step out in faith. Even the smallest, you can dip your toe in, okay, unless your guides are trying to shove you off, and then that, that's your, take it up with them. But these trust tests or these trust fall type situations where maybe, let's say, you're feeling called to become a creator in the spotlight and share your area of expertise in whatever way that is for you. But you're, like me and Catherine, so comfortable being invisible. Like this is the G spot right here, is invisibility. But I'm feeling like I've got to go and I have to share this with, with people. So I need to get up there and on that stage and do what I got to do. You can start building towards that. You can start speaking up and, educating people that you can start reaching out in small groups on Facebook or on TikTok or whatever platform you're on. You can start by posting little short videos and start acclimating yourself to being comfortable with being seen. But you can fly, nope. So these little, like, dipping your toe in moments, do those. If that helps you be more comfortable with the transition, then absolutely do that. I mean, if you're being shoved by your guides, like I said, I have no say over that. And it just means that it's your time and the time is now and this is going to happen and you have to experience it in a big way and it's going to be even better for you. So in that case, then honey, just fall. Don't fight it. Just go. Just go already. um, but don't try to hold on to the past with guilt or resentment or anything like that, because you can't be taking that into the new earth. Those frequencies are too low for new earth frequencies. Yeah, and you can build your confidence every single day by doing something a little more confident. It could be wearing bright shoes, like you're used to wearing all black and stuff, and then all of a sudden one day, part of your exercise of getting more attention is maybe that all black outfit, but with some really neon shoes. You know what I mean? Or just even a color, any kind of color, right? It doesn't matter. Doing something that you'd be less confident doing, but it's kind of still close to comfort zone, is going to help you to acclimate, to get comfortable with being outside of that little tiny box that you've been in. So definitely do more of that if you can. So what you are called to do in any period of your life isn't going to always mean it's going to be forever. We understand that relationships change, whether that's friendships, relationship, like romantic relationships, or family relationships. These things are always evolving and changing, and nothing is really forever, right? Every phase of our life brings something new, something different, or a little bit of new and different and a little bit of the old. It depends on your experience. But everything is constantly evolving. That's the only constant in this world's change. So what you start out with, like my work started out in customer service, bottom of the barrel customer service. I started in food service when I was in high school. Working also for like the student store at the school. It was one of my classes, my electives. But being of service to people in those ways. And then it went on to a salesperson and, being in that. And then it evolved into office work. And I was really kind of just kicked off on my own there after a couple of months of training because I uncovered some really deep embezzlement. So I took the person's position. Anyway, it evolved to that. And then I couldn't do that anymore because I started having seizures. I could not work. I was having seizures all day, every day. So I ended up branching off and starting to do my own little business here and there. I would start a hobby, one of my ADHD hyper focus things, and make some money off of that, and then go on to the next one and the next one. So I was in business for myself, multiple different kinds of things depending on my interests at that time. But I learned how to understand what customers want. I learned how to, not advertise, but can't even think of the freaking words right now. Sorry, guys. The ADHD brain is cutting out. Market myself. I knew how to connect with people on a real level. And I knew also how to handle the business end of things, with costs and profit and all of those things. So I learned job by job, and I'm using it, I'm a Capricorn. I have to use work as an example. So my little tiny side businesses, all of those jobs before that set me up for being able to get my feet wet in having my own business. No, I wasn't super productive, I wasn't making a whole lot of money off of those things, but I was getting the experience. So each job led to more experience, and the culmination of those experiences led me to an extra, a different experience, which was learning how to manage my own business. And then I branched off into using my gifts and not making dog treats or dog beds or wire wrapped jewelry or, one of the many other things, sourdough, kombucha. Okay. So now I've evolved that into what I do now. And that doesn't mean that now is the end of any of my experience or my purpose. It's just going to continue to evolve. So think of it that way, that you're evolving into the next phase, into the next chapter in your individual experience, but also collectively we're doing the same thing. So we're evolving together. More of us are coming together. More of us are awakening together. So we are continuing to evolve and move forward. We've had these individual experiences that some of them tie to each other. Some of them have nothing to do with one another, but collectively it culminates in, oh, I have all this wisdom, all of these tools, all of this knowledge. I know how to apply this. And I know that I can expect a better outcome when I combine all of these things instead of, that just one way path that I was on before that really didn't have anything extra or fancy to it. So recalibrate yourself. Okay, restructure, refocus your trajectory if needed, because it's not about the final destination. It's about the process. It's about the journey, the unfolding. And your trajectory isn't always going to be where you're going to go, because you're going to switch, you're going to shift your trajectory from time to time, or completely pivot and do something different. Okay. So take the time to recalibrate, restructure, especially when you're feeling overstimulation and overwhelm. And if you're feeling guided in a new direction or to expand, to become more expansive in some area of your life, then absolutely do that. Start practicing right now and just dipping your toe in so that you don't have to be shoved unless unless that's what's needed for that specific situation in that lesson. So, anywho, trust the divine flow of change, honor what no longer serves you, okay? And pivot with purpose and with peace, because that's what it's all about. It's about building the new earth, and new earth has no space for fear. So we have to overcome this in our own individual experiences as we evolve as a collective as well. So it's happening in real time, both the micro and the macro, but we're able to get a lot more done in a shorter period of time right now within our own individual lives than we are currently, with things collectively. But that is going to change very soon. Things will start to pick up. You'll start to see more of the high frequency new earth taking shape, replacing what's screaming right now on its way out. So even though it looks like it's very much here and it's very much progressing forward with the negativity, it is not. It's just making more noise on its way out. Thank you, Wendy. Yes, pivot with purpose. Do it, baby, because you have no choice but to pivot. You don't want, I mean, if you've ever been in dance, which I took a few dance classes in school when I was younger. Um, Whenever you are pivoting, you don't want to fall flat on your face. So you want to pay attention to what you're doing, right? You want to do it gracefully because you can pivot and fall flat on your face if you're not paying attention to what you're doing. So pivot with purpose. Don't just do it for the fun of it, because you might just fall flat on your face. Pay attention, okay? Yes, Carl, we need to understand the ingredients before we bake the cake. Love it. And that's what experience brings us. We've already experienced, and people are like, why? How is this happening again? I'm talking about what's happening with the US right now. How is this happening again? This is 1930s and 40s all over again. This is all over again. No, it's not. Because we've learned and grown from those experiences. And even though they're trying to push that and force it and trying to bring us into that, they can't push us into anything that we're not voluntarily stepping into. So if we're not voluntarily stepping into that kind of future, then it's not going to happen. And I don't remember her name. She's a lady that knits on TikTok, but she's also like a cult expert. I think her name has something to do with that. I don't know. But she talked about the fact, because she's a scholar on this, she's got the experience, the knowledge, the wisdom. She's studied cults of all kinds, including the US military and the Christian church, okay? Because she grew up in a cult, a very famous cult. But anyway, she was saying not one time ever in history has a country gone from a democracy to authoritarianism like that. And it's not going to happen this time, especially because, United States people are rebels, okay? Fuck what you heard about our government. Fuck what you heard about, people from the US, okay? Yeah, probably rude, but we're fucking rebels, and you're not going to keep us under your thumb, okay? We've experienced over the last several decades a lot of, pushback and overreach, and not just with our government, but within like our family units. So we're gonna say hell no. There might be some that are still very, very, very sleepy, very, very, very much asleep, head in the sand, and full of hate. But love and light is contagious, you guys. That does not mean love and light everything together. That means you got to tap into that gangsta when you need to, okay? Because we don't get pushed around. Remember, love isn't always love and light, baby. Love can also be very abrasive. Okay. Tough love is a real thing. It's doing what is best, even though that's not always what's wanted. So you can pull it out, that thug card out of your back pocket, because I know most of you guys have that thug card. So pull that when you need to, but all with love, okay? And for enlightenment purposes. That's what light is. It's enlightenment. Okay. Yeah, we're all scrappy, huh, Linda? Thank you, Cassandra. Yes, pivot. Anywho, I guess we're already closing in on an hour and a half. Take 4th of July, for instance. So much firepower there, not just fireworks. Yeah. Yep. And I would just like to take a moment to laugh because it's so funny about President Trump's birthday parade. His 79-year-old ass fell asleep. But I would have fallen asleep too because it looked so boring. You could even hear the tank's squeaky tires. And the troops that were there marching in the parade were actually doing a protest type of march because they were not in unison. They were not clean and sharp and, you know, with their moves in sync. It was absolutely the opposite, is because they didn't fucking want to be there, but you know, they get really negative repercussions if they don't whenever they're ordered to do so. So their way of showing their lack of support was to fall out of line, and no balloons or presents for him. Love you, Matt. Love you, Steph. Good night, sweet dreams. So yeah, it was absolute dud. But over 13 million people showed up for the No King's Day protests just in the US, I think. I think the collective number is something like 15 or 20 million worldwide. So it was an even bigger turnout for those that are opposing him than it was for his own birthday parade in DC. So I just had to, you know, hold some space for that little giggle, because I always love seeing a narcissist get upset. So, you know, had to rub it in a little bit. That's the human part of me, and I'm not sorry about it. That's me expressing it in a very healthy way. So you guys express your emotions, express everything in healthy ways, all right? Transmute that shit with laughter, and then kick some dirt over it and move on like you're a dog just took a shit. Okay. I love you guys so much. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. British summertime. I'm not quite sure exactly what the topic's going to be, but we'll figure out something. I was thinking doing another meditation tomorrow, because it just feels really right, especially with the state of things right now, to bring some more grounding, some more balance in. So I might actually schedule a meditation for tomorrow. Just transmute him into a glowworm. I love that, Catherine. That's so cute. All right. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for supporting me. If you want to book services or if you want to get some super cheap products right now, please do that on my website, rebelspiritrising.com. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow.